Trigger, thank you very much. Other honorees, it's a pleasure to share the table with you. And thank you very much, UMass family, for being here tonight. I look around here and I see Coach Berquist back there. I was Coach's first captain here in 1967. The baseball program has sure changed a lot since then. It was a cow pasture back then that actually President Letterly's wife used to have a trail ride through our outfield on occasion. But it wasn't, and we did have an advantage. That smell of cows and horses and whatever else sure did affect our opponents. Seriously, I mean, it was awful back then. I'd like to thank Coach for providing the opportunity to hone our skills. We had a great group of guys here at that time. I think we had 9 people that signed pro contracts in that 4-year period. None of us made it, unfortunately. But when I look at today's field down there, I look at the facilities. This university has made it. I mean, I was here 50 years ago. As a matter of fact, I would think it was about 50 years ago today that we played the University of Maine, who returned 7 players from a third placing in the previous year's College World Series, including the pitcher who was the College World Series MVP, having beaten Tom Seaver and USC on the way. Our guys played great defense. I mean, it was just incredible. I mean, I don't know how we got up that high, but we had a fellow by the name of Al Nordberg that could hit a ball to the moon. And he hit a ball. We weren't down at the field at that time. We played in the middle of campus. And hit one over the right field wall, which happened to be elm trees at that time. And I think it may have landed in the campus pond, to tell you the truth. But I was lucky enough to scatter 2 hits, and we beat them. I think it was 2-1 or something to that effect. That was a really happy day, but it also was probably the saddest day of my life. Our center fielder, whose name was Dennis Delapiana, who had more baseball ability than anybody had ever seen, and my catcher in the minor leagues was Carlton Fisk. Dennis had come out of high school, been offered a pro contract. That was before the draft, turned it down, came to UMass, and was just the epitome of the college athlete. My dad, who was a great baseball fan and whatever used to call him Joe DiMaggio in maroon pinstripes. But Dennis, unfortunately, had been diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. And it was that day, about the 6th inning, he tried to run out a ball to shortstop that he would have beaten out without a problem and could hardly make it to first base. He pulled himself from that game, went up to Coach Lorden and said, "I just can't do it anymore." And he had lost his first battle. Unfortunately, Dennis passed away before our next season. And that next season was Dennis's season. And we started off, I believe it was 12-0, went 6-0 on a southern trip, and we all just saw Dennis. Unfortunately, it ended at Fenway Park. We'd gotten beat by DC in I think it was the finals of the regional tournament, and it ended with a hailstorm. Fenway Park was 3 inches deep in hail. They had to call the game after 7 innings, and it was almost a tribute to Dennis. It was 2 years later that I received the first Dennis Delapiana Award, and it was the highest honor of anything I've ever had in my life, be it a professional contract, all kinds of wins and friends and whatever else in family. But Dennis was something special and was the essence of what baseball was here at UMass in the 60s. There were many fun times through the years, and I unfortunately played until I was in my 40s. Coached and had a great life. Actually, I met my wife in the hatch 2 floors below here 49 years ago, I believe. She'd know for sure. But again, I'd like to thank Coach, all the great teammates that we had here. It was a family. It was the 60s baseball program, was a family carried on by Coach Berquist and Coach Lorden. I'd like to thank you for being here tonight and giving me this great honor.